The White House just signed another executive order to create a task force to eliminate fraud. This new task force is going to be chaired by Vice President J.D. Vance, and they claim it's going to crack down on fraud and close loopholes and make sure the benefits only go to eligible Americans because promises made, promises kept. Okay, well, putting aside that the person signing this executive order has himself been convicted of fraud multiple times, in the past year, that man has also pardoned at least 14 of his friends for, you guessed it, fraud. Here is a list of convicted felons whose fraud that Trump pardoned adds up to around $700 million. Because this isn't about fraud. It's about politics and power. In fact, this administration has already put out an initial list of the fraud that they're going to look into. And every single one of the things on that list is in a blue state. Because apparently if you commit fraud in a red state, like say Rick Scott did in Florida when he was CEO of a company that had to pay $1.7 billion in fines for defrauding Medicare and the American taxpayer, you get to leave with a golden parachute and then become governor and then become a senator. I mean, I am old enough to remember having a waste, fraud, and abuse task force. It was less than a year ago. It was called Doge. Weren't they going to find all our fraud and balance the budget? Weren't they going to send us all checks with the money they saved us? Did they do any of that? No. They just let a bunch of dumb boys gut our government and steal our private data in the name of saving us from the horrors of diversity and inclusion. These people don't care about fraud. They committed fraud in the name of finding fraud where there was no fraud. Trump University settled a $25 million case for fraud. The Trump Foundation was dissolved for defrauding people. Trump committed casino fraud in the 90s. And right before he was elected, he was found guilty of fraud in a judgment in New York court. The whole family's in on it. Eric Trump's cancer charity was fraudulent. His wife's dog charity was fraudulent. Jared Kushner's dad was literally in prison. And not only did Trump pardon him, he named him ambassador to France and Monaco. At least 5 of the president's top advisors have been convicted of fraud. We're talking people like Michael Cohen and Paul Manafort and Steve Bannon and Alan Weisselberg and Rick Gates. I mean, I could go on and on and on. You wanted them to drain the swamp? Well, DC is now the thickest, grossest, deepest, darkest swamp that has ever been, and they're doing it right in front of your face. Jared Kushner is out here soliciting funds for his investment firm from Middle East countries while negotiating on behalf of America in the Middle East. You want to be bombed less? Give me more money. You want fraud and corruption, JD? Maybe you start your task force with the president's son-in-law. Because these people don't give a shit about fraud. All they want is talking points against Democrats so they can attempt to save their incompetent, destructive asses in the midterms. This administration is a fraud, and the American people deserve so much better than this.